welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karia and I'm a professional fashion photographer in New York City. I get asked a lot what kind of lenses I use as well as what kind of camera I use, so I just want to create a full video to talk about all the lenses in my collection, what I use them for, what I love about them. So first off, I am a Nikon shooter. I have two D750 bodies. I find that it's really useful to have two camera bodies because you can use different lenses in the same situation. You don't have to be constantly changing in and out on the same body. You can have both of them, one with one lens, one with the other, and you can really easily use them both at the same time. So all of the lenses that I'm going to talk about are for Nikons. One is a Sigma lens, but the other are all Nikon brand. However, whatever camera you use, they're pretty across the board standard. Every single brand will have a comparable lens, if not like exactly the same, just for that different brand. If you're Canon, Sony, whatever you use. So the first lens that I ever got for my full frame DSLR Nikon D750 when I first got it in 2015 was a 50mm lens. So this is a prime lens, 50mm, 1.8 minimum aperture. So since it is a prime lens, it only has one focal length. So it doesn't zoom in and out. It's just set at 50mm. It's just a really great kind of starter lens if you want to get into more high quality lenses beyond just a kit lens. It's really great for portraiture. You can get really great compression and bokeh. It's a really lightweight without the tulip. It's really small, like heard my head, really lightweight, really great for traveling. So I'm gonna put some pictures that I have done using this lens just to show you how it performs. So another prime lens that I have is a 35mm 1.4. So this was made by Sigma. Nikon also makes their own. What I really like about the 35mm 1.4, since it does have that 1.4 minimum aperture, it does really well in low light situations, and it has really gorgeous bokeh. It's really great for travel, obviously, because of the 35mm focal length. It's fantastic for portraits. It can really work for events because of its low aperture. At 1.4, you can have it really fast and have really great quality images in a low light situation. Really the only thing that I don't like to use it for is for headshots, just because I can't get a lot of compression with it. You can get really great bokeh, but not a lot of compression. So it just really depends on where you're shooting as well for a headshot, but in general, I prefer a different lens than this. And I'm gonna put some photos that I have done using this lens. My final prime that I have is an 85mm 1.8. It is comparable to 50mm or 35mm in terms that it is a prime, so it is a set focal length. You can get a really wide aperture with this at 1.8, but you can also get like 1.4, 1.2 in these models, as well as all the other primes. This is just the one that I have, and I find that it does really well for me. Has really great compression. It's really lightweight and portable, so I take this a lot with me to travel, especially if I'm going to a fashion week or if I'm doing portraiture, headshots especially, because it has really great compression and it's a lot more portable and lightweight than with a bigger lens that is more for a traditional zoom lens going up to 200mm, but still, this is really great. So I'm gonna drop some pictures that I have taken using this lens. So this is by far the largest lens that I own. It is a 70 to 200mm 2.8. It is just the workhorse of a telephoto zoom lens. Really high performance in terms of image quality when you're all the way zoomed in. It's just a really great lens. If you are doing wildlife photography, fashion photography, any sort of performance photography. So I use this when I am doing dance photography and theater photography. I also use this a lot in fashion week to really get in there. You get really amazing compression, really creamy bokeh shots, and aperture open to 2.8. You can be using f5.6 and be zoomed in and still get really great compression and bokeh from this lens. One really big con of it is that it is heavy. I'll drop exactly how heavy this one is. I don't know off the top of my head. But if you are using it in a more extended amount of time and you're not used to using it, and you can have a monopod, I would definitely attach a monopod on it just to like save your wrist and save your back. You can attach a monopod right here. It supports your entire camera, and you can loosen this so you can rotate between portrait and landscape and it'll just save your body, seriously, because this is really heavy. But an amazing lens, and I cannot recommend it enough if you are really into the types of photography that it would really benefit. And finally, we have a 24 to 70 millimeter lens, 2.8 aperture. This is an amazing lens. This was my second investment as a lens. I bought it new. It's glass, it's really heavy, it's really high quality, and this is honestly the most versatile lens that you could ever have in your kit. It's great for portraiture, for product photography, for travel, really anything you want you can do with this lens. You can get a really great wide shot at that 24 all the way zoomed out, or a really nice compressed shot also at 70 millimeters. And even at 2.8, you can get really great bokeh, and again, really great compression. I would say this would be the most comparable to a kit lens that you might already have, that might have come with a camera that you have bought, which would be around like 18 millimeters to 55 millimeters, somewhere in that range. So you're able to zoom, but this one is just gonna be a lot better quality. Really, I cannot recommend this lens enough, and I'll drop some photos that I've taken with this lens. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have learned something from this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Also share it with a friend that you think might benefit from this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!